Okay, again, I put this on the website. So this is actually the website. Okay, so it's right there. And so we want to discuss this today. And the exponent of the 19th Gaussian Mersenne Prime. The exponent of the 19th Gaussian Mersenne Prime is 353. 353 is the sum of the frequency Hha plus Meem in Surah 42. Okay. 353rd regular prime happens to be 4253. 4253 happens to be the exponent of the 19th Mersenne Prime. Surah 42 has 53 verses. Now these underlying stuff are new, okay? So 353rd super prime is 21179. I want you to notice here, okay, so I was talking about retention, analyzing, understanding. See those digits there? 9127 are in there. Okay? There are 2 ones, but the rest of them, you see, 7921 or 9127. Okay. This number 21,179 is the 952nd irregular prime. Talk about regular prime, these are irregular primes. But 952 happens to be the 790th composite. And guess what? 790th verse containing the word God in the Quran is 9127. Okay. 790 in base 19 is equal to 2698 in base 10. 2698 is the total frequency of the word God in the Quran. Okay. Now remember now, 790 tells you that Quran has the name of the author of the Quran, the number of word God, frequency of the word God in the Quran, 2698. And that 790th verse containing the word God is 9127. It tells you that the author of the Quran has been mentioned 2,698 times, and this book has, chapter 9 has 127 verses. 790th lonely prime is 9619. Chapter 96, which was the first surah that was revealed, has 19 verses. 195th super prime is 9619. Surah 96 has 19 verses again. Okay? 195 happens to be the 19th Sphenic number. 195 is the numerical value of Kaf, Ha, Ya, Ain, Sad in chapter 19. And 195, I spelled it out for you here. Those are the values of these Arabic letters. And I separate the Arabic letters here on this side. And inshallah, I'm going to put the pronunciation in English so people will know. Okay? So Kaf, Ha, Ya, Ain, Sad. And then you see that is 20 plus 5 plus 10 plus 70 plus 90, which is 195. 900, this is new, 952nd lonely prime is 11807. 11807 is actually 95th good prime. 11807 happens to be the 548th long prime. 548th additive prime is 9127. And Surah 9 has 127 verses. Okay? So again, these things are meshing together much better because now we understand why these numbers are assigned in such a way. Why they have such a property. Okay? These properties are basically they make a basis. The properties of Newton make a basis upon which Quran was built. Okay? So right now, I mean, you have this is supposed to be Easter weekend and everything, and People are completely unaware of these things. And if they knew, they don't care. They don't have the time. That's the usual thing. We don't understand this. Okay. All kinds of excuses come in, basically not to pay attention to this. But these are the essence of this Quran. Okay. So when you gravitate towards this, and this gravitas is absolutely huge mathematically. And why would, for example, 11807 have this kind of interindexal relations? And why would they coincide with the Quranic numbers? You have to ask those questions of yourself. And those people who reject it outright, they should also ask that question. Why is it 195th good prime? Why is it 548th long prime? Why is not 548th additive prime is not 127? These are questions that somebody has asked themselves. Okay. Why 952 is the 790th composite? Why is 790th verse that contains the word God is not 127? Okay, so these questions has to be asked and has to be answered somehow. Okay. A challenge is that, okay, well, was he fiddling with numbers? Well, why don't you go ahead and fiddle and bring these things up? If these are fiddling, you can go ahead and fiddle too. Okay. So, I mean, time for these kind of excuses is gone. So one has to really absorb the Quran in its pure sense, okay? And by God's grace, we have it. We have it in front of us. And again, God has shown us these windows to paradise, and we are privileged to see this every week. And as I said, now it becomes a lot more and a lot more vivid in our minds and our hearts, that we can actually see the beauty of it more and more every week. Okay, I haven't even gone with the 353 being the index of composite 438 and 48 being the composite of 538. Remember we talked about that? Okay. About 5 and 38 and 4 and 38, we talked about it. And you know, all of these things are there for a reason. We have to you know, bow down our heads and be grateful to God for this. Otherwise, you know, we're wasting our time in this world. Okay, so I'm going to stop here and we'll do the rest of our Jummah. Allahu Kabir. Subhan Rabbi al-Azim. Allahu Kabir. Allahu Kabir. Subhan Rabbi al-A'la. Allahu Kabir. Allahu Kabir. Subhan Rabbi al-A'la. Allahu Kabir. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. الله كبير.